Welcome back to We Are Nacogdoches. It's the show where we get to explore all the good things happening in our town and the people who are making it happen. I'm Kelly Augustine with the Nacogdoches County Chamber of Commerce. And today on our show, I have a special guest, Steve Goranson, with me. Steve is with the Daily Rind. And by rind, we mean cheese, correct?
That's correct.
Well, welcome, Steve. We're glad to have you.
Thank you, Kelly.
So tell us, how did your world in cheese start? What's the background there?
Well, I have to kind of back up to when we moved to Nacogdoches in 2012. We came from Minnesota, right next to the Wisconsin cheese state. And so we were very familiar with good cheese up there. But that wasn't our goal down here. When we moved to Nacogdoches, my wife, Joyce, did a lot of baking of organic breads, and she'd just give them away. And people would say, you really should be selling this at farmer's market. And she said, really? You have a farmer's market? So she looked into it, and sure enough, that was something that she thought she could do. So she started that in 2013. Selling organic breads and spa pillows and cookies, Laura Bush's cowboy cookies. People love those. And I would just be there kind of helping, once in a while. I was just known as the guy married to Joyce. People didn't really know me that well. They know her. Side story, she had at least two people say they have moved to Nacogdoches after talking to her at farmer's market, because she was so she'd walk around front. She'd be walking around the front of her counter and praying with people. She does it every weekend. I mean, she's just that kind of person, and people love her. And so I was in the background saying, okay, yeah, you need this? Yeah, I'll take care of the business. So she let her talk, because she does that. So while we were there, the booth next to us was the cheese booth. And that was started by Dr. Gregory. I don't know if you can see this or not, but Dr. Carol Gregory. As a matter of fact, if you look at the front of my booth, there's a brick with his name on it. And he's a kind of a quirky guy. He was a retired dentist in town, and I think he started, I believe, in about 2009, and
I'm going to interrupt you.
Go ahead.
Dr. Gregory, he actually kind of brought the cheese to the farmer's
He did.
market.
He's the one who started
that.
it. He started it. Absolutely. Yeah, that was his thing. And he was on the board, so he was very involved in farmer's market.
Yes.
Well, and we got to know him a little bit because he was right next door to us. And then he got a little older and had to retire from that business. So he sold it to a fellow named Dave Kimling. David brought some different elements. He put the stainless steel counter in for sanitation, and it did some physical things that were really helpful. So we got to know David. And then David had a gal named Suzanne Choate, now Duncan, who was a culinary arts teacher at the high school. And she was kind of helping him. And then he sold the business to her when he decided to get out of it. And so we got to know Suzanne, and I know her real well. That's getting next door neighbor again. And a year and a half ago, June 24, she was going to have a baby. And so she was going to take a long leave. And I said, Suzanne, we love the cheese booth next to us because you have a lot of people coming in there. And it's just good for our business too. So I said, if you just want to take some time off, which I know you're going to do, I'll just run it for you. We'll figure something out, but I'll just do that for you. And she said, well, okay. And after about, I don't know, a few months of that, she kind of decided, I think I want to stay home with my baby. So we figured out a way so that I could purchase the business from her. So I am the fourth and the least of the cheesemongers.
That's a great story.
Yes, it is a great story.
It really is. And because it's all centered around cheese, what has your goal been since you've taken it over? Have you seen your way of making the most out of cheese?
Yeah, I've tried to add a little different elements. Suzanne would she would. This is a right here. You're looking at about a 15-pound wheel, they call it. That's how I order the cheese. Of that's jalapeno cheddar. And people ask me every weekend, you make this cheese? No, I don't. I have to order it because you have to be licensed, certified by the state of Texas to sell cheese, or we have to buy cheese from somebody who's licensed. And that's apparently not an easy thing to do. And I say that because when Suzanne had the business, she started it with 5 vendors. By the time I got it from her, she was down to one, the one where I get this one right here, Veldhuizen Dairy in Dublin, Texas. And it was just because all these other ones went out of business. And I know that because when people would come into the booth, they say, "Oh, can you get this cheese? I just love that cheese." And I'd look it up and I'd find where it was. There was like one in Colorado she had. No, they're out of business. So I found another dairy up in Dallas called the Mozzarella Company, and that's been really good for my goat cheeses and softer cheeses. But I really like these guys. You can buy cheese anywhere, right? But you can't get cheese like these folks have been doing this. They started out in 2000 with a family of 7 kids, and it's all grass-fed animals, raw milk, no pesticides, chemicals of any kind. So we know the kind of cheese we're getting, and not only that, but people could come and they can taste the cheese. You can't just do that in a grocery store, even if you could get this kind of cheese. And I give them a description if they really want to know more from it. I give them a description of what each cheese is, because
Right.
some people really like to know what they're getting. So, matter of fact, people will come and they'll take a picture of this. Oh, I want to take a picture so I know what I'm eating at home. So it's kind of fun. I just enjoy it.
Well, I was about to say, you're kind of summing up what a lot of vendors at the farmers market do, because you're not only offering cheese, but you're kind of offering an experience, an education, something new to try.
Right.
That, like you said, if you go to a store and purchase something, that's it. But they're getting more of an experience with you.
And I've had to learn a lot of this on my own. Suzanne helped me pick up some things, but it's been fun. And to give the story behind each of the different kinds. Like this on this list from last week, I think I had 13 different varieties of cheeses there. That's the most I've ever had.
Well, that was my next question.
Yeah.
So you mentioned soft cheese. This is a hard cheese.
I have my hard cheeses and my sheep cheese I get from Veldhuizen in Dublin, Texas. And I got a lot of people coming saying, do you have any goat cheese? Because they can't tolerate dairy. These guys, they do sheep. And some people say, I don't know if I want sheep. So I searched around and I found the dairy up in Dallas called the Mozzarella Company that is some really good goat cheese. And that's and the other side, like mozzarella, some other soft cheeses I get from them, and people have really, really liked them. There was one during Blueberry Festival I got, it was a blueberry mascarpone torta. It was it came in a tub and you turn it upside down and put it on a charcuterie board. It was tastes like ice cream, the kids tell me.
So is cheese seasonal?
Yes. And I would have to say probably because these guys and my other supplier, they choose to do it at certain times of the year. Because like there's certain ones I want to get. There was like a garlic dill cheddar, I think, that I had, and people ask for it. I can only get that during the fall, and I can go to get another one during the summer. So yeah, they have certain ones that are seasonable, but there's certain ones like this, or there's one they call Paragon. That's their signature cheese that I get all year long. So people love them.
So while you've been doing this, you mentioned that you enjoyed cheese in Wisconsin, Minnesota area, but has there been something new you've learned from being this close to cheese?
I have, yes. I don't know where to start. I mean, cheese is very stable, especially the hard cheeses. Now, the soft cheeses, they're fresh cheeses. They're made pretty much not long after I sell them. They're made just pretty close to that time. But these, like this is my 6-month aged cheddar. I have a vintage cheddar that's 7 years old, and the longer you age cheese, the sharper it gets. And some people love sharp cheese, so I try to have a sharp one on hand all the time. And it'll get more crumbly too, and that's not a bad thing. That's just what happens. It gets drier and more crumbly, but they love that sharp taste. So yeah, there's the ages and the how they do the different types of cheeses. It's, yeah, there's a lot of things you learn.
So now you can open a winery or gather your wine, have your wine, your cheese.
I'll have to get you with the Napa Valley for that, I suppose. They're friends of ours, so.
No, that's great. It all goes together well.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we have this kind of opportunity here in our town. On Saturday mornings, you can stroll on over to the hitch lot and enjoy some really good cheese and learn more about it too.
Yes.
So Steve, if folks want to get to know you better, where would they find you?
We don't have a website, but we are both on Facebook. Joyce's is under Viking Land Enterprises. I think what she calls hers, and mine is the Daily Rind, and I have a Facebook for that. And that also goes to my own personal Facebook, Steve Goranson. But you can find it either way, that way on Facebook.
Or they could just go to the farmer's market.
Or go to the farmer's
Saturday
market. Saturday morning, 9 to noon.
West Main. Sounds great. Well, thank you so much for doing what you're doing.
It's been a pleasure. Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah, great. And we appreciate you tuning in today, too. We will see you soon on We Are Nacogdoches.
This program is brought to you by the Department of Media and Communication at Stephen F. Austin State University, in association with the Nacogdoches County Chamber of Commerce, and with special thanks to the City of Nacogdoches.